Hi guys, Shauna here. Sorry I didn't give any notices this evening. I was out of the house, so hopefully I'll get some people in here. So we are working on our love blocks here. We're again zoning out during the week here. I had a Gemini male single that I skipped right over yesterday, so I'll catch up with him tonight. So we'll start with the Gemini male single, because I skipped him last night, and then we'll do Sagittarius tonight. So we'll go through the Sagittarius female single, female couple, male single, male couple. If I'm firing on all cylinders, I'll get them all in. So yeah, so this is kind of the Valentine's Day love special. Now I'm gonna do this tonight. I had something come up, so I won't be able to do it tomorrow night, which is Friday. So this will be the last this week, and then I'll come in on Monday and I'll reboot for the rest of the signs until we get them done. But I think I might be going Monday to Thursdays. And if we have to, we'll go into March. No big deal. I'm not worried about it. So hopefully I still have some viewers for that. So yeah, so that's that. I think I said everything. So I'll get into, I didn't introduce the decks yesterday. I'll show you the decks that I'm going to be using tonight. And I actually got a new one. So if I have some viewers that come in a little late or whatever, and I get through this in a decent hour, I have a bit of time, then we can take some live questions, just whatever. So the first deck that I'm using is the Major Tarot is the Thelema deck. The Thelema Tarot. It's a very beautiful deck. It's got a lot of nice pictures. So that's what I'm using for the main tarot deck. Then I'm using a romance tarot deck to kind of highlight. Using the Power of Surrender cards by Judith Orloff. These are pretty good cards. You know, if you're someone who is wanting to get to the root of the problems, these cards are good for that. The Messenger Oracle, using that as well. It's not really a tarot deck, more of an oracle deck, but and then the Whispers of Love to kind of highlight some stuff going on. Sorry about my nails, are gross. So the Whispers of Love. Yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, so we're gonna. Sorry, I didn't plan here. Each day, less and less time to work here. So I'm going to start out with the first card. So again, we're going off the Gemini male single. I skipped him yesterday, so we'll start first. So the first card I get for him is the Ace of Coins. The Ace of Coins, oh, my nails. The Ace of Coins is about money. It's pure and simple. This is kind of the money means more than romance, because we're in the romance deck. So money is the biggest thing. So it kind of trumps all the romance. So that's the one thing that's going on in the Gemini male single, okay? He's worried about the money. Then we have 7, which is the Chariot, right? And then we have the white and the black bull there, kind of signifying there's a conflict going on. So we'll see where that goes. Now, they're also like, take note of the woman high up on the haystack. So there may be someone that he has lingering around, but I feel like nobody really that he's latched onto in that way. Maybe someone that he's thinking about. So being single, right? Somebody he's got his eye on, but not necessarily dating at this point. The Messenger card I get is Trust in Magic. And I feel here that is really your intuition. Like, trust that you can ignite that, right? I think the Gemini male is maybe on the logical side of things here, and he needs to be more on the mystical side. And I think that's what this is saying. Trust in magic. These crows, they look like they're, but they're really signs of good luck, right? So we're trying to tap into that. And I feel like this Gemini male's just not been into the good luck mode at this point. So we'll see what happens here. The next card I get is 19, the Sun. So this is a good ominous card, right? So this is happiness, contentment. So maybe he's single, not really worried about getting a mate and happy being single. Happiness, joy, he's not upset. He's enjoying things. Got a childlike curiosity. That's what, you know, the two children and the Sun is just to illuminate that, you know, almost that solar chakra, right? Awakening that up and coming from that. So really, I think he's at this point inspiring other people to be happy. The next card I get on the left side, because this is really, the left side I'm finding is really logging into the character of the male himself, the Magician, right? So that's a really powerful card to have for a character card. Means you're in control of your life, you're taking charge of your life, and you're moving forward. You're responsible for everything that you do, and you're very mindful of everything that you do. And in that way, it literally creates magic, right? So he's got a nice balance here of a little bit, you know, focused on the money at this point, so not so much on the romance, but he's really feeling powerful in his own self all around. And then the messenger card I get is know that you belong. So this must be the conflict, right? So there must be a little bit of a self-esteem issue, which is interesting because I don't get that. The Magician's bringing out all this confidence. So maybe it's just work and love, right? So he may have a huge confidence in the work area. That's all shiny and new. But in the love area, maybe he's feeling like, you know, not so exalted in that area where he can come forth with it, right? Because, you know, if that lady's high up on the haystack, holy, it really is a symbol of him kind of putting that at a distance, putting romance to a distance. So know that you belong in a relationship, and therefore you shall have. So we'll see what comes on this side here. This is the opportunity. Interesting. The first card we get is the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is really about wanting, needing, and feeling a lack thereof, right? And I feel like this is the romance or the partner. Now, there is a symbol here, though vague, of a woman, right? There's a symbol here of a woman. She's very far away. And in fact, you know, he may not even know that she's there, right? Because he's driving and she almost looks like she is not hijacked, but she kind of just jumped in while he was taking off. But there's a distance here between him and in a relationship. So the Five of Pentacles is just an exemplification of that, saying, yeah, I do need that, I do want that, but he's not feeling quite so confident in that area. Okay, it's for the Gemini single. Then I get the Eight of Swords. So that is, you know, a lot of that stuff going on in your mind where you're thinking and creating scenarios. Fear of rejection, fear of, you know, just there's a confidence here in the work area, and almost a complete opposite or lack in the area of romance. Okay. So he's got a little work to do to feel potent in that way towards a woman, right? Or towards his partner. He needs a little more inspiration, I guess. Just not feeling it. And I feel like this may be a dip in the energy field for him. He's not quite, how would you say, not quite feeling potent as a partner. You know, he wants one, but he's not feeling good enough to go out and get one. And he's got a lot of stuff, you know, these Gemini males are thinkers. So he's got a lot of stuff going on in his head that's creating blocks for him. So he is doing that himself. He's blocking his road to love. So the messenger card we get on that is embrace the dark. So that's those negative self-talk, right? I don't know. I don't think I could get her. I don't think I can, you know, I don't think I can accomplish. I'm not the right one for her. She may not like me. I don't have enough, da-da-da. But yet somewhat confident in his work. and all of that side of things. But as for romance, not feeling. So embrace the dark is really saying, you know, there are some things here that you need to be aware of that are muttering around that you may have the ability to work on. Okay, so you maybe not an illusion so much as okay, these are real things that we have to work on, so maybe we just need to work on that, and this would be a good time to do that, you know, out of a relationship. Like whether it's the self-esteem, you know, go out and do things with your friends and build that up to a higher degree and then go outward. I feel like this Gemini male is just really, he's still in the flow, okay? Just because he's not in a mode where he's wanting, or like I said, he's wanting romance and a partner, but because he's not going after it aggressively, doesn't mean that he can't be, you know, he's still in the flow of things. He just has to kind of embrace those darker thoughts coming in to stop him. Like, even though they are things that are created and they're blocking, they are still things that he needs to work on. He has to take account of and solve. And I think he just has to do that in a methodical way, and he'll get through it. And he just kind of has to knock that off on his own. So, yeah, a little bit of a complex. I mean, this guy's a thinker, and he's really up in his head, and a little bit to the negative. I would say a 60-40 split. We get 60 in the negative, and we can, you know, we can get that balanced quite easily. We just have to be real about where our deficits are, and I think he's being real, but he's also exaggerating a few as well. So as long as he can come to terms with that, and I think friendship circles will help him with that. They'll bring him kind of out of that, out of the ones that aren't real, you know, the ones that he's kind of going overboard with. His friends will go, hey man, no, you're not, you know, you can, whatever. So that kind of thing. So he needs to kind of build up his strength and his esteem. So the love card I get for the Gemini male is actions speak loudly. Express your love through actions, and that's that outward movement, right, that he's avoiding at this point. And I feel like he'll naturally come in the flow of things and get into that right spot. So that's the card here. Actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions. You know, get on the bird and fly. And he is air, right? And that's, the bird is that symbol of flying through things. Sometimes when we think, we overthink things, and it can create havoc when you're in the negative. So work on going outward physically. And I mean, you know, don't be afraid. I think in this day and age, everybody's so offended by everything. Doesn't matter. And I think women are worse than men for this, because we need to really understand that the human touch is, I mean, with everything in the news, right? But there's a way to stand up for yourself and say no, you know, and there's a way to stand up for yourself and say thank you, but no thank you, that kind of thing. Still have take it in, and then not have to take it all the way in. So the surrender card we get for the male is surrender your fear of change. So the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always, whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death. Repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. So there's a fear of changing directions, I guess, and maybe that includes with a partner. You know, maybe he's been single for a while and not really understanding, or not that he doesn't understand. I think he can logically understand the adaptations needed for a partner, but maybe on an emotional level not knowing how to deal with that. So surrendering the fear of change. So there is a fear of wanting things in a different way, you know. We have what we have. We are where we're at. We're doing good in the job. And there's a fear here that if we change things, might screw everything up. And, you know, this happiness that I got now may take that away. So he's got to be careful he doesn't have some core beliefs here that are getting in the way. And that's really what this would indicate, some core beliefs that are kind of getting in the way. So there it is. Fear of change needs to be gotten over. And I think We don't have any like fateful cards here of the flipping of the wheel, but I think in the summer that, I mean, a lot of people are going to be flipping that wheel, you know. So the spring may be a slow time for him, but that's okay because he's going to dive into work, and hopefully he'll get in his friendship circles and they'll kick him into gear with his esteem being in the right place, so that we don't get too down on ourselves to the point where we're not actually dealing with the facts. So that's for the Gemini male. So hopefully that helps you. Fear change. Doesn't want change too much to the point where it has something to do with romance, right? That change of no partner and a partner. Even though you want a partner, you don't want the change that's involved in doing that. So now I'm going to continue here. Now we're going to get into the Sagittarius for the night. So we're going to start with the female single. Whoops, that was a bum shuffle. I don't think many people are going to come in. I didn't give any warnings whatsoever. But that's okay. Shut her down early. Again, I'll be not coming in on Fridays, but I'll go Monday to Thursday next week. And then if we have like a couple more signs, I'll finish them off on the Friday. And if not, we'll just go to the next week. So my shuffle time here. A similar card coming up. Okay. Okay, I think we're good to go here. So, Sagittarius, female single. Excuse me. Some more. First card. Female single Sagittarian. We get the Fool. The Fool is the footloose, fancy-free, happy-go-lucky. We feel almost on top of the world, and to a naive degree at that. We're going forward no matter. This guy's about to take a step right off that pedestal, and I don't think he realizes how small that's, you know, how small that pedestal is, but he don't care. And it's almost, they're making me look at the roses on his head and making me, you know, almost like he's just been dumped, or we're going to the female single here. So maybe there's something going on where a rejection or something, but you don't care. You're actually happy. Got rid of a hook here. It feels like. So the Fool, going off in a new direction and being really content in that, right? Flipping of gears, if you will. The next card I get is the 7, the Chariot again. And this was for the Gemini. I had this in the same position. So we have someone going in a new direction, but they're conflicted about a few things, right? Not highly, though. I feel like they've gone in the direction and they're glad they're going in a direction, but they have some stuff going on in their mind here that they're conflicted about. The Messenger card, make the sacrifice. So there's something here. It's almost like I get a feeling of they're footloose and fancy free, but someone else is attached and there's something going on that's holding. So it's almost like this Sagittarian female is not aware of, yeah, something's wrong here. The Sagittarian female is feeling, because they were making me take note of this, the roses on this guy's head. Saying, and they're giving me a sense that, you know, those have been put there. His sex doesn't matter here, but those have been put there by someone saying, in your face, buddy. And he's like, yeah, it's okay. I just got dumped, but that's all right. I'm out of here. Okay, now make the sacrifice is really saying that we haven't taken enough. We haven't taken our lesson from this situation we just jumped out of. Okay, so there's something happened here, like a kerfuffle. It may not have been a full-blown relationship, but something, a connection that could have been made but was dissed, but there's some kind of thing here that needs to, a lesson that needed to be learned, and the Sagittarian female, she's just not having it. She's not understanding it, not realizing it, and not caring. Okay, so there's a bit of no, I don't want to say remorse, but no feeling for the person's feelings, and they're not giving me nothing on that. So we'll carry on. Interesting. The next card I got is the Death card. So that's an ending, right? Okay, so we just had something end, but I feel like it's not a legal relationship, meaning it's not a relationship that had any merit. We weren't officially dating. We weren't really, maybe if anything, it'd be a maximum of 3 dates and it's done. So what was this, right? So that's kind of what's going on here. But I feel like there's something the Sagittarius female's missing here. Like she's really not paid enough emotional attention to this person, even though it's a disconnection here. It's like the universe is saying, we can't just run around unhinged. That's the feeling I'm getting. Can't just run around, just, you know, bringing everybody in, throwing everybody out. We can't do that. We have to be accountable for the feelings of the other person as well as our own. And not only are we not being accountable for our feelings, but we couldn't give a hoot less about theirs. So this may not have been, like I said, an official relationship per se, maybe a dating scenario, but nonetheless, there was some stuff here that it's almost like we need to take a little more of our heart to look at this. There's a lesson here. We didn't get it. Okay, so if we're leaving this for one particular reason, we're going, the next one's going to be exactly the same. So you got to keep that in mind. We're jumping too quick to learn anything. Okay, is the scenario I'm getting. Okay, the next card I get is the King of Wands. And it's interesting because he is looking at the end of this relationship. He's looking and going, I don't like that. I don't like what that happened just there, right? So that's that feeling, that sense again. that she's going off and like almost like no commitment, no nothing, feeling like there's no responsibility here, and he's just really not happy. And I mean, the king, he's a king, so this guy's gonna, I don't know, he's got some fumes going, that's for sure. And then we get the know your power, okay? And this kind of goes along with what I'm saying about not really taking responsibility for your part, okay? Like, I'm getting almost a scenario here that we're teasing somebody, but to a maximum degree where we know better, but getting kind of almost like, like the Sagittarian female's getting a kick out of stringing someone along and dropping them off. And they're kind of doing that, right? So that sounds whatever. But no less, this is the thing. They need you to be more conscious of what you're doing in an emotional level, because it's just going to start looping on your agenda here. It's going to start looping back on you. And then it may be, you may not have taken this person too seriously, but they, I think, took you pretty seriously. And in that case, you may run to the next one and you take that seriously, then you're going to get a loop here of karma. So I feel like you're kind of going along creating bad karma here. I'm starting to remember the other reading, and it was like, I'm done. My shackles are off. I'm out of here. But we're being a little irresponsible with our human feelings. We need to be more human in our feelings and more responsible with the acts we give out here. So knowing your power, knowing the effect that you have on people, and that may be something that's underplayed as well. You may not truly understand how much you affected this person, yet on a certain level, I get a sense you do, because you're kind of getting a charge out of that. So we got to be careful. You don't create too much negative stuff in that way. And the universe is going, oh, we're starting. So the next card I get is the five of swords. Oops. So that's the conflict, walking over bodies to kind of collect your coins, right? So we got to watch who we're throwing under the bus. And this is this dude, man. This King of Wands is not happy, and I feel like there's going to be a consequence here. You're going, no, I'm out of here. And like I said, it may not have been a true relationship, but you did string them along, is really the thing. They're going like, string along? Yeah, absolutely. We knew better type thing. So the Five of Swords is just basically stating that. They're really going after what they want, and they're going to get it, and not really taking into account too much emotion on either side. Too much emotion from them, they're blocking it, and too much emotion from the partner that they had, like the King of Wands that was there, not really taking any of his feelings into account. So the next card I get is the Chariot, and that's the movement, right? Movement away. And again, the conflict, because we have two. So there's a sense here, high sense here. We're conflicted internally about this, so we need to flick that switch again, because we're really acting immaturely is what's going on. I get a sense of it being immature. Why? Because we're struggling in the mind. We're fighting. Our mind is going, no, we shouldn't do this, but we're going, oh, I don't care, I'm doing it anyway. So there is a you know, the dice, the rolling of the dice here. Kind of, there's a point where your mind is aware of this, but you're going, I don't care, I'm doing it anyway. So there's something going on that's pushing you in that way, right? So the messenger card I get for the Sagittarian female is reveal your truth. So there's a mask here. We're wearing a mask, and I feel like the mask is like ego driven. That's really all it is. And we're trying to get satisfaction. And I feel like it's such a superficial way at this point that it's really not, there's not going to be much longevity here for this. You're going to run out of steam soon, you know, and we're just starting, but I don't see it going much further. Why? Because I think that there's a sense of depression that's going to sit in. Either you got to realize that you're wearing a mask here and start removing that and figuring out who you are, or maybe you're afraid to do that. That might be something you're afraid to see what you're really made of, you know, and get real with that. There's something holding you back from that. So be aware of that. It's kind of not the greatest read, but nonetheless, there's a switch here that's went off for the Sagittarian female. She just, and this man here is basically, there's absolute karma coming back for this. You cannot make up for it at this point. Not only that, you don't want to make up for it. You really, it's almost like a vengeance, but it's not, that guy's not to blame. It's like vengeance on somebody else. Somebody else did something to you, so you do something to the next guy, but he didn't do it. He doesn't deserve it, right? So this is how it comes back. Because you need to take it out on the person that did it to you. And if you can't do that, you have to deal with that at least in an emotional manner and understand that and realize and download that. Because that's really what's going on here is retribution. And retribution is kind of high and mighty. It's like the validated. But this is not. This is a bitterness and wanting to, vindictiveness, you know. And I don't think it's so, like, you don't realize. I think you realize. You just are kind of like a switch has went off and you're going off on that. So take care, because that's coming back. So at a point here, I feel like you're going to go down and then get in the dumps with it a little bit, and then it's, you know, it's going to come at you from what you're creating here. So beware of that. The love card you get is back to what you love. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. So, and I feel like that's the break that you just put upon, because I think, you know, on a mental capacity there is just not right. What you did's not right, but you got this tinge of, that felt good because I've had it done to me and I don't want to, you know, but yet you understand, you know, he didn't deserve it. But it was that object, that person was an object of something that you felt you needed to pull retribution on, right? So it was, yeah, it's kind of twisted. But there's a realization here, but just a going. That fire is just burning down the bush, you know, and we're not taking note yet. I think in the summer we're going to be doing that. So beware. Get back to what you love. You know, think more of loving feelings rather than all the bitterness and the harm that's gone through, because that's really what's affecting you to move forward and create this negative karma cycle. So we need to think about the things that we love and go in that direction. And not in a superficial way either, and not in a way that strokes our ego. We need to go deeper than that. So the actual block, it says surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. So you may have some belief systems here, and that may be running through this whole cycle of, hey Cheryl, thanks for coming in. I'm on the Sagittarius female single, so I don't know where you sit. I'm going to continue. So surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. So you may have a belief system here that is carrying you into this cycle, not understanding that you're just creating more havoc for yourself, you know. And I think you may have to reevaluate the relationship, not the one that was just, but the one that caused all this rage and anger and feelings of wanting to be, you know, giving out retribution, all that, balancing the scale. You really have to, that's why we have to communicate to the person that we are with at the time. We really have to talk that outward. And I think in relation, I know I've done this myself, in relationships, when we have a partner there and we get mad and things get to the extent and everything blows and we just take off in our separate directions and we don't go back and communicate and make that person understand why I left, why I got mad, why, you know, there is really an energy that just holds you in that anger space. And that's really what I feel for the Sagittarius female, is really there's an anger base here that wasn't settled. and it feels like it's almost like it can't be settled. And that's why it's kind of flipping this energies in that way. So hopefully that helps you. Surrender to outdated beliefs about yourself. So there's some kind of a, and there may be things too as well in your history. Your parents had this happen, so you got to look at how your parents, you know, dig into that, because sometimes you'll have history repeating itself, you know, through the, you know, and then you go, whoa, you know, and just the notice of it makes you more aware of things as you go on. So hopefully that helps for the Sagittarian female single. And we're going to carry on here. Thanks, Cheryl, for coming in. It's pretty quiet in here. I didn't notify anyone tonight, so I was out of the house. So I don't know that many people know that I'm even here. But I'm going to be coming in tonight, and then I'm going to take the weekend off. I had some things come up, but I'm going to come back Monday and finish out. So we're going to try and get through Sagittarius. And if I can get through Sagittarius here in a decent time, I can maybe take some personal questions after. See what we have time for. If I don't mess anything up, everyone I've skipped over one of the signs here. So it's crazy. You're in Aries. Oh, I did the Aries a while back. You should look back in my feed, because that's I did that. I think that, no, that was the second showing, the second live show I did Aries. So you have to check that out. But nonetheless, I'll continue on here. So we're going to go to the Sagittarian female in a coupled relationship. I gotta check this off as I go, or I'm gonna lose my mind. One more. Oh, there we go. One. Where are you from, Cheryl? Shuffling takes long. Okay. It's done. One more. Alrighty, we're good to go here. So the Sagittarius female couple. Here we go. The first card I get is the Two of Coins. This always makes me laugh because it's about it's kind of like the childlike nature, you know, how kids fight and they play, and then they, at the end of the day, they're friends, but they've been through a lot of fighting. That's that kind of thing. And there's no way to kind of symbolize that other than with kids, how they can be all left and right wing, you know, all the time, but they're still together. So that's really the kind of energy that I depict for this card is kind of a squabbling couple, and they fight and they argue, but at the end of the day, they're still a couple, and they're still together, and they know that they can count on each other to a deep degree. So that's really about this. They can be quite immature in their fighting ways, but yet at the end of the day, there's a strong love that kind of underrides that. So that's that childlike nature of the romance. And then I get this is the King of Wands. The King of Wands. So he's the dude, man. He's got something he's focusing on. He's very, what's the word? I'm losing my verbs. Well, he's focused and he's directed. Like, he knows what he wants. He goes after it. He gets it. This guy kind of seems like he's, you know, a little bit weathered. He's had, you know, but yet nonetheless, he's, you know, that wants. So he's a fire as well. So you may have, you know, two fire elements in the same house, which is quite interesting. And these lamps at the bottom kind of symbolizing that focus. There's one certain area that he's working on at the moment. So it's kind of, I'm getting a sense that this, how do you say, that the Sagittarian female, her partner, is feeling very much alone. Is feeling singled out. Like I said, the lantern, right? It's kind of symbolizing there's something here he's focusing on, and it's not his partner. Okay, that's the sense I get. Now the next card, I get the Messenger card in between these two, is focus and then act. So here we go, the focus. So he is focused on something, and it's maybe in a creative way, it may be a hobby, and maybe something that he enjoys to do. And I don't think he's using it to get away from his partner, but nonetheless, there's a distance there. And I don't know if that's deliberate or not, but we'll continue. The next card I get is the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is about burdens, right? I mean, this woman, she's got all these swords in her back, and it's about to collapse. So burdens upon. So maybe this distance that he's feeling is that he's felt like he's been burdened. So now he needs kind of a break. So maybe he's, you know, going in the shop and tinkering just to kind of get away from all of that stress and strain that he's feeling in the partnership. So I feel like there's some expectations here from the Sagittarius female upon her partner that are really getting to him. He's feeling it. Okay, and I feel like he's not really talking about it, but I feel like the Sagittarius female is talking to him about it, maybe nattering and nagging, but I don't know that she knows that it's got this effect on her partner. Okay, so he's feeling like he's almost done, but again, I don't feel the communication is there to understand what's really going on. And I feel like the Sagittarius female, she's just not, she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand. So it's unintentional, but nonetheless, because I think like a valve's been opened here, meaning I feel like there's a lot of communication coming through for this Sagittarius female, is feeling like she can vent, and it may be a little too much for her partner to handle. All of a sudden, all of these words are coming through, and it's like, whoa, man, I got to deal with all the partner's kind of having an overwhelming feeling here from all of that. I feel like it's conversational information that's coming through the partner. It's kind of unloading, unburdening, and guess where it's going? To the partner. So the next card I get is the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is really, we have a symbol of a woman here, right? And this would be you. So you know what? I may have the energies mixed up. I'm going to continue, okay? And then we'll straighten it out in the end. Because the Nine of Pentacles is also about feeling that single, powerful person. Now, usually it's a symbol of someone who is very financially secure within themselves. It's the single card of the deck, meaning the single woman, happy and free, and she's very happy to be single. She's got all her coins, you know, so she's financially stable. So we're talking about a Sagittarian female in a coupled relationship that's feeling very singular. And then when I go to this card, he's feeling very singular as well. So that's interesting. Okay. So I'm going to note that and carry on. So we have this feeling of being, and this is more of a happy feeling than I get from the partner. So this woman is really finding her place, I think, within the relationship and feeling very happy and pleasant and not knowing the effect she's having on the partner in that way. Okay. Now to clarify that, I get from the messenger, show that you care. So we may be up in our feelings about feeling powerful as an individual within the relationship. And I feel like there's a fresh energy coming through. I feel like the energy of the Sagittarian female is really in a position where she's feeling her, what do you call that? Her full potential. She's starting to get to that cup full, you know? And I feel like this may not have been where she was at last year. Or, you know, or slowly building, and it's kind of hitting a crescendo here. We're feeling very powerful and effective in ourselves, but yet the partner's kind of, and in order to do that, right, we're kind of zoning out the partner, but the partner's not really saying anything yet, okay? So show that you care is really simply the universe saying we need to start showing affection, physical affection to our partner to make them understand, because men will, you can talk, but when you show affection, they will understand that. They will feel that. They won't have any anxiety about that. But when you talk, it's like they're, you know, it's kind of a different database they're working from. So you need to show your partner that you care and that you're not, he's not being kind of flown off on the wayside. And I don't think it's a major deal. I think it's just this woman is really getting caught up in the powerfulness of her own energy. And then her partner's just sitting on the sidelines. But in her defense, he's not saying anything. He's not making her aware. But if you see this, then now you're aware. So just kind of pay a little more attention to him in showing that you care. And that will kind of help bridge the gap of loneliness that he's feeling. Like I say, I don't feel it's heavy. It's just kind of a left out. But it's a marriage. See each other at the end of the day, but they're just not getting what they want out of it. A little more, you know, because she's so wrapped up in herself, right? But in a good way. So the next card I get is the Fool. So that's new directions, and that's kind of wrapped up in the new energy that she's feeling. Going off in a new direction, powerful energy. She's fire, right? So she's going, she's burning things down and blazing a trail here for herself. And that's really what's going on is she's looking forward and at nothing else. She's kind of single-minded in her own right, you know, and if she has another fire partner, she has to kind of take that into account. And then the next card I get on the other side is the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is about that security, that foundation, right? The two doves, about the peace and serenity within the relationship. So there's not a heavy, the first card we get is about that arguing and quarreling and all of that, but I don't feel that that's heavy. I feel like that's kind of the banter they do. They know this is known to them. It's not like we're having fights here that are heavy. And the Four of Wands is simply stating, you know, we do feel safe with each other and we do feel safe here. So it's really a light energy of the female, just paying a little more attention to the husband, partner, boyfriend, whatever, and solidifying that again, because it's there. We just need to turn to the partner and say something and do something and make that official, right? And the messenger card we get on top of the new direction and the solid foundation is here, the Ancient Ones. So that's a little bit of the instinct. The instinct coming through, and I feel like, I'll tune in here. I feel like, because they're going, look at the fountain, and usually the fountain of water coming from these cards is a symbol of that emotion. Now, does she need to show it, or is she showing it? And they're going, no, she's not showing it. She's not showing it. And they're going, it's not like it's an emotional It's not like there's emotional things that she needs to show, but she needs to be more compassionate towards her partner and use your instinct to do that. And we may not be doing that. And we may have to dip into our emotions a little more instead of, because I feel like this Sagittarian female is very much in her head, meaning mental. In a good way. She's being smart and logical, but there's the emotions are gone by the wayside. So I think that's what they mean, is just dip into your emotions when you come home, because you know you may be learning new things and doing new things and being in that knowledge state, but when you come home you gotta take the knowledge cap off and put the emotions back on and bring that home, because that's really what your partner's looking for, I think. And that's really, anytime, it's always the water is always a symbol of that emotion, right? And we need that emotion, because that tree is a symbol of their love, right? We need that emotion to feed that, or it starts to wilt. And the partner's feeling, but like I said, they're not saying nothing, because it isn't heavy yet. But we go down the road, it might become, but we got to watch for that. So, and I think they can use their instinct and figure that out. So they will. So that's good. The next card, the love card that I get for the Sagittarian female in a couple is that physical touch is important. For some of us, these are 2 physical touch cards. So we're not rubbing the partner's back when we go by. We're physically distant. And that's the thing I was getting from this card as well. So he kind of feels like he's all by himself there. Literally, like, you know, she's really not around the room, she's not in the house, she's not that kind of thing. So it's more closeness, physical closeness, right? So showing that you care and physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. Yeah, these 2 cards really symbolizing the union, needing that recharge through the energy field. Get together. Don't be shy to show affection. That's what affection is, the word that they gave me. So reach out, touch the partner, hold hands. He may not be the type that holds hands when they're walking down the street, but make sure it's genuine and you'll be fine. Then the surrender card. It says, surrender to wonder and awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. And again, with that fiery kind of theme here, surrender to wonder and awe, right? So maybe not stopping enough to smell the roses, and I do get a sense of that from the Sagittarian female. Just kind of diddled up a little bit, where, you know, the partner's getting thrown by the wayside and we're getting caught up in things that are making us feel, but we have to balance that out with the partner, right? When we're in a relationship, we can't be and I don't think she's being selfish, but I think she's just not aware that it's you know, again, the partner's not saying or making her aware, so she's not aware that it could be there. So surrender to wonder and awe is kind of like a stop and smell the roses. Get in there and realize, you know, what needs to nourish a relationship, and kind of do that. Because that red fiery dress there is kind of that action, you know, rubbing the back when you go by, giving a hug after you come home, and those little things do add up. So that's your block, is that I feel like this Sagittarian female is just being that fire. She's feeling all powerful and kind of in her own universe, and she has to pull that outward, pull her partner into that with her. And I think she'll be okay. So that's the Sagittarius female in a coupled relationship. That went all right, because there's really a lot of light stuff here, kind of just, excuse me, going with the flow. So it's nothing heavy, nothing bad. So that's good. Bring the energy back up. So now we are in the males. Male persuasion of the Sagittarian. So I'm not going to skip anything here. So we're going to the male single. Holy, can't believe I skipped one every night. I skipped something. So we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to remember. So the Sagittarian male single is next. Oops. So hopefully everybody had a good Valentine's Day. Mine was pretty quiet. A lot of people, I think, probably went out for dinners and maybe to a show or something. It's pretty low-key this year, from what I hear. In my circles, anyway. My boy was neglected because I didn't spend time with him, so we had some time today spent, which was okay. Keep forgetting about Valentine's Day meaning a lot to the kids. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. So, Sagittarian, male, single. We went through the female, we went through the couple. Okay, so Sagittarian, male, single. Gotta wrap my brain around that. The first card I get, money, 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 money. The Ace of Coins. So, we're really in the money zone. We're watching our romance and going, no, I'm gonna focus on work. This means more. This is where they're headed, and this is what they're doing. So that's that. Okay, so we're focusing on money rather than relationship at this point for the male. The next card I get is the Fool, 0. So that's really kind of a symbol here that we may be walking away from something, right? We may have been on the heels of something, so we're just kind of, and I get a sense here from the Sagittarian male that the single male is really using work to kind of get over something. You know, we may have had something here. We're single now, but we were not so long ago thinking about a partner and kind of now jumping into work because we're just not having that feeling anymore. And it's bringing a lighter energy into things and bringing us back up, right? Helping us focus on things that keep us in a higher vibe zone. Now to clarify both those cards, we have share your thoughts. So I'm feeling like this Sagittarian male, he's just not having anybody he can really discuss things with. And he may have, you know, friends in his circles, but maybe not wanting to hear about relationship stuff. There's some bubble here in him, or he just kind of wants to discuss this to somebody, but there's really nobody there that, I feel like there's no one there that he can do that with. Because this is the irritating feeling he has, so much so that he has to kind of jump into work to distract. And again, yeah, wants to be relieved of some of these things. I feel like the partner that he had, there was stuff kind of unsaid didn't get his say and he wants to unburden that off on something or someone. So the next card I get on the left side, yeah, the death card. So that's the ending. The ending was close on this side, right? So we had something end that I feel like there was, it wasn't an agreement. This guy just didn't want it to end, and he's still kind of in that way. The Sagittarian male is really feeling, yeah, I didn't want it to end, and he's having a hard time letting go of that feeling. It's really hanging. The next card I get is the Six of Swords. So that's that feeling of having to do something, get away. And I'm feeling like this is a symbol of the partner that he had before. It's a symbol of somebody taken off from him that made him upset, you know, to a degree. So this is really what I'm getting. They're like, yeah, they took off, they're gone, and that's it, you know. So just that symbol of someone leaving, and it's really heavily sitting here with them. That's all he can think about is the end and that person leaving, and it's the end. So it's really heavy energy. And then we get from the universe, right? Stay strong. So that's that dragon, the green healing dragon, trying to symbolize, you know, just keep your chin up here, buddy, because this wasn't meant for you. This isn't right for you, even though he felt like it was. It just wasn't the right connection. And it wouldn't have took him long in the relationship coming back to a degree. I don't think he would have, it wouldn't have taken him long to figure that out on his own. But at this point, it wasn't his decision. It was the other person's, the partner's decision. So it's harder to take. It's harder to swallow, right? And it's a jagged little pill he's swallowing, and it's just not going down right. So that's the feeling here. Pretty heavy. So on the right side of things, interesting, we get the Page of Cups, and this is usually, I mean, when we look at the right side, it's kind of the situation that happened. So we had him offering love outwards, right? So this offer, it's like he put his neck out, and that's that offer going outward. He's looking towards the ending and going, yeah, I made an offer here, and I was, you know, it didn't work out right. Now the next card I get is the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is usually about wishes, right? Wishes coming true. Because all those cups are full of either fruit or flowers. But yet she's sitting there not being so, how do you say, not being so happy. She doesn't look like, you know, she's having her wish come true. But really what's going on here is we're living in a fantasy world. So I think this guy, you know, he may have come out to this person or this partner, and he was a little disillusioned about what was actually there, the status of the couple here. I think he was more, he was vibing a little more than the partner was with the whole relationship thing, okay? Now, the card I get on top of those two, that was the other one, is Know Your Fears. So I think that has to do with the rejection here that he's feeling. I don't think he had any fear when he went in there, because I think he was kind of up in his head, making up things a little better than they actually were. Wasn't dealing with things properly. So now he's starting to come down to earth, but he's just not liking it. Because not only did he get kicked to the curb, he just doesn't understand why he was feeling so high and mighty, and he crashed so hard, that kind of thing. So we have two pretty black cards here, right, for endings, and yet we have a little bit of a disillusionment that's going on with the Sagittarian male. He's not really seeing things from, like, look at, she's like floating on water. She's not grounded at all in reality. She's really up in the clouds with everything, and all the glasses are full. Everything's perfect. So I think that's what happened, is we idealized something a little too much here, and it kind of just fell apart on us, and we don't understand why. So that's really the sense I'm getting from the male single Sagittarian. This is what he came from. The love card I get is Demonstrate Love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. Demonstrate love. I feel like if he was here, he'd be going, well, that's what I was trying to do, and I got kicked to the curb, you know. That's what I was trying to make happen, and I didn't. So I think it's basically a symbol. We don't give up on that. You know, this is just one direction. We can go in another, and we have to, you know, we have to be in a positive mode to do that. And I feel like this man, until spring is in full bloom here, I think he's going to be a little down in the dumps, because he's really was not he just like, it's like a 1-2. He didn't see it coming. He did not see it coming. He made an offer outward thinking full well everything was going to work out and things were good, and he kind of just, it just hit him sideways. So I think demonstrate love. I think he maybe needed to key into that a little bit. He would argue with me on that, but I think he's seeing things not from where the partner would see it. And that was the whole problem all along, is that they really didn't see eye to eye. But he had a fantasy world in his mind there he was living in, and he didn't quite take a tally. You know, he was in fantasy world, but he didn't get back down to earth and figure out what was going on there. So demonstrating love, I think, would have balanced it out a little better. And also a warning about the future. Do that in the future. Demonstrate. Don't lose that. Don't lock things down just because you had one bad experience, right? So the actual block card, it says surrender your addictions. So let's see here. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to bring or to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. So maybe that was one of the reasons, okay, that this partner, you know, maybe keyed in on that, and he's not aware to a degree that he thinks it's a problem, okay? That may be where the, you know, disillusion is coming from, and the fears, like, and if we're getting into alcohol and substances, that's usually to cover something, right? And it's usually fear-based, so it's all from fear. And so might have some things like that to deal with. And I think maybe the partner knew of this, and just that wasn't in their plan, right? And for whatever reason, they have to trust that this relationship was not for them, because if they don't look at it that way, it is gonna, you know, cripple them down the road here into the fall if they don't. I think they just really need to deal with the reality that it's over, it's done, and there's nothing. You can't get it back. I think they know that they can't get it back, but they're kind of in shock, going, what? I didn't see this coming. And, you know, this may be the reason. There may be some things here at a fast pace going on in your life that you just didn't take the time to slow down and notice everything. So surrender to your addictions, whatever they may be. Sagittarian males, letting something get in between. And it could be a work issue, right? Because his money is above all else. So I feel like that's where he's headed here, to get away from the energy that he's feeling, the negativity, which is not a truly bad thing. But maybe he was a workaholic and that person couldn't deal. You know, you really got to get grounded in the reasons why, you know. So that's part of that. And not feeling content in the fact that they had to let it go, or had to, you know, it's gone. It's over. And I feel like it was the other person, obviously, that perpetuated. But it's almost like he had no say, no nothing. Like he felt cheated. Like, what do you mean? Like, she put a foot down and that's it. There's no discussion, and that's that. And I think he feels like, no, I want to discuss this. I want to talk. Like, can we at least, you know, be friends? That kind of a thing. Be friends. Can we do? What can we do? So this is really what I'm getting from the Sagittarian male single. He's going through a rough patch here, and he's going to focus on the work. He's got to watch his addictions in whatever area that hits him, because that may have been one of the reasons this did not work out. So we got to look at that. There's something here that's kind of driving him forward that he's not paying enough attention to in the way of dealing with, right, in his own mind, in his own way. So hopefully that helps somebody. Now, male single, male couple. We're going to go into the male couple here. Now, I'm going to go on for 2 hours. Well, the thing is, I'm just going to see who all is here. And after I get this reading done, I can maybe take questions from whoever's viewing, if anybody ends up coming in. If not, I'll just shut her down. And then we can, you know, do some micro reads or whatever you want to do. I'm here, so I'll take advantage of the time that I have. There may not be anybody else that has time today, though. So up next is the Sagittarian male in a coupled relationship. You know, I was wondering, I don't know if anybody out there, if you're in the page, because I see that there's like so many people on the page that look at it, and then there's like triple the amount of viewers, and I don't understand how that happens. So I know I'm going public, but where does the video go? I don't understand. So if anybody knows that answer, fill that in for me, because I don't get this stuff. I guess it just kind of goes in a loop. Somebody's answering it. Kind of just goes in a loop while it's live, I guess. And there's people that can view it while it's live, but not after. Like the ones that are on the page, I guess. Can view it after, but not. Okay. Okay, let's see, just this one. Hi, Stacy. Thanks for coming in. It's pretty quiet in here. I'm just finishing up here, the Sagittarian male couple. If you can stick around, I'm going to do whatever we want to do here after I'm done. So if you want to do that, we can do some micro reads after I finish this reading here. So we are on the Sagittarian male in a coupled relationship. Here we go. The first card is the Lover's card. So the first card that I get for the Sagittarian male couple is the Lovers. So that's indulging in all levels, right in there, both feet. I mean, we're in Paris in here, right? On a gondola, for crying out loud. So everything's groovy. That's what they're feeling. That's what the male in a couple's feeling. The next card we get is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is about celebrating with friends and going out and being happy, and everybody's, I mean, we have two women and one man, and but I feel like everything's kosher. We're just all having fun. It's kind of like the Three of Cups card, celebrating and being out with friends. Maybe, you know, this isn't an indulgence that, you know, we kind of haven't had for a while, is the sense I get. It's like kind of letting loose, right? That's what I'm feeling for the male. So there's an opportunity here to do that. The spirit card I get is hear the ancient ones. Now, again, it's like instinct. Don't throw your instinct away here. Something that you're being told, I feel like you're not listening to. So they're going, listen and hear, you know, or they're hearing, but they're not listening, or whatever, however that works. So that kind of a thing. But I'm feeling it's light. It's all good. So as I go to the left side, I get the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups, he's an offer of love, or a message of love and caring, right? So as I look at this on the table, he's looking to the outside. He's looking over there to the past. So I have to keep that in mind. So there's offers and messages of love that are not looking towards the relationship. 20, Judgment is the next card I get. So Judgment is really, I mean, she's got a horn there that she's holding, and then the magic of the universe, right? So it's about hearing a call and making things happen through that. So again, hearing, and they're going, now we got to act, because we're hearing stuff. Here, the ancient ones, they're going, they have to listen a little harder than most, but they have to start acting from that. Now, the universal card on top of that is see yourself in nature. So you may need a little bit of a time out here. You may need some time to rest and recharge your batteries a bit, because I feel like, you know, this card here, I think we got plans to go out with the buddies and stuff and whoop it up a little bit, but I feel like we're not doing that enough, right? And this is see yourself in nature is more like, you know, you do this, but in a low-key way, so we can recharge and not drain, right? We go out and party our butts off, and then we're feeling worse in the morning. That's not the kind of, you know, nature that they that they want. But nonetheless, you know, make yourself feel good with friends, surround yourself with friends and family, but see yourself in nature to try and recharge that. So get out and vacation, you know, that kind of a thing where we're recharging, where we're not draining, but we're increasing the battery. So there's something here. I have to go back. Yeah, see, they're making me look at these cards again because this is how they're sitting on the table. So look at the messenger of love. He's looking outside, right? And then the angel's coming in there going, look at me. I've got information here. I've got instincts here. Look at me. And just not. They're just not. They're focused on something other than. Okay? So I have to be aware of that. Now on the right side. And this is usually the symbol of the partner. Wow. Okay. So we have the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is that fire energy that they have, okay? And it's charging into the middle of the spread. So it's charging at the relationship. So we may have the man here. See, are we doing a male single? What the hell? See, I'm losing it again. I'm talking about a couple's relationship here. So I'll have to do the single after. Because the Knight of Wands, he's looking into the relationship, and he's going in there with his flamethrower, and he's going to stir up some dust, okay? He is trying, there's something here he wants to accomplish, but I feel like it's almost separate from this energy up here. We got romantic energy, like going out with the friends, and then we've got this aggressive energy coming in and charging. So where's that coming from? What's going on here? Okay, the next card is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords is about leaving to go to calmer waters. So is this our partner? Or what's going on here? Because there's energy split here. There may even be 3 different energies here. There's something weird here. Let me just tune in. Somebody's leaving to find solace, okay? And we're talking about see yourself in nature and looking out. So maybe that's what's going on. Is the partner, the Sagittarian male is going, man, I need a break. I just need to get away. I need to get away. And maybe not like I got a break from the partner, but I need to get away on my own and just do. And feeling like he's going to do this no matter if people say yes or not, I'm going. You give me the validation or don't, I'm going. I need to get out of here. I need to get some fresh air, some, you know, and we got this nature thing and here the ancient. So I think he's fleeing, but not from the relationship, but from stress, you know, and burdens. And, you know, there's something going on here, but yet I feel in a romantic sense, these two are okay. But there's something he's fleeing from, he needs a break from, okay, that's causing him so much stress. And I don't feel it has to do with the relationship per se, but he wants to be by himself, okay? Yes, nature is absolutely healing. It's the only thing at this day and age can really recharge you to that degree that we need to be recharged. It's the only thing. Okay, so the clarification in the universal here. Know your fears. So, okay, so this man's running from his fear. Again, I don't feel it's the relationship. I feel like there's something outside. And I said, don't bring work into this, but I feel it's work. I feel like he's getting into a mode here where he's fed up to here and he needs a break from everybody and everything. But I don't feel it's detrimental to the relationship. I think he's just like, you know what? I'm going with the buddies and I'm getting out of here. I've had it. And then he's going to come back. Everything's fine. He won't skip a beat with the relationship. But I'm feeling a big stressor here. He knows he needs a break, so he's going to take it. That's really what's going on. So I'm really not getting any romantic stuff other than in the beginning here. So that's basically the symbol to saying, you know what? We have someone here that's fed up, but it's not with the relationship. We're okay with the relationship. We're celebrating. We're doing things. We're going out with people, but we need to have a break because we're stressed and we're overworked and we're, you know, all of that, right? So that's really what's going on. So they're going to have to listen to their instinct to get the most out of that break, because that's really, I think, what it is. And there's a resistance to listen to instinct, but at this point, you know, kind of like they've gone too far. And now, you know, they're taking a break here because they have to or they're going to blow, right? And they know that they're 2 steps from blowing. So, but the universe is going like, you know, if you would have listened to us a couple months back, we could have worked this out in a good way. Not in, now you're going to, you know, be in that cantankerous way where it's not enjoyable almost. Like you go on the vacation, it's not as enjoyable as it could be. That kind of thing. So the love card I get, now, you got to forgive me. I got a lot of downloads going on as I'm speaking here, and I'm checking them off as I go. I'm at the male single, but I'm getting a couple here. So I'm going to do the male single after, because this is morphing into a male coupled relationship. So I'm just going to continue with the male couple and do the male single after. This is what happened in my last few readings. For some reason, these single dudes, they don't want to talk about them. What the heck? Skipping over. Okay, so the love card I get for the Sagittarian male in a couple. Act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are, and they will always, and you will always consider them. So I feel like we may have a situation here that this partnered relationship is feeling like 2 individuals cohabitating, okay? So this Sagittarian male in a couple, he's feeling like he's really footloose and fancy free. And I had this in the Valentines Day, I had this, right? So we'll see if we get this for the single, whatever. I'm looping out here. But act as if your partner's here. So they will be with you always. Consider them. Is really sitting, like, consider them. So during all of this kerfuffle, and that's the thing, I don't feel no stress from the partner going, no, you can't go, or don't wait for me. I can't go till next, da, 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 da. He's not even considering that. He's going, I need a break. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go. I'm going to come back. Everything's going to be fine. So you may have to look at that a little closer, because we have to act as if the partner's there, and we're acting as if the partner's not. And that's a huge sense of what I get here. And that's what I got in the Valentine's reading as well, was that we're acting from a single point of who we are. It's not we, it's I in this relationship. So we have to be careful of that, because that can create resentment. Though I feel like, obviously, right, the partner here is very giving and very open and very free. Like there's a match, right? Because we're not chaining this Sagittarian down in any way whatsoever. But we still got to take issues into account in that way. It's just consideration, right? Just being a respectful human being. That's all. So the actual, what is it? Surrender card we get, which is your block, is surrender to play. So, and I feel like the reason that the Sagittarian male is not surrendered is because it's just not time. He's busied up, he's stressed out, he's da-da-da. He is not making time, or he doesn't have the time. That's why he's not. So he has to surrender to play. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. So that's really what he's going after. That's what he's really in charge. Like right now, he's going, man, I'm just headed. I gotta get out of here. I'm taking all my swords and I'm going to calmer waters, somewhere where I can feel refreshed instead of burdened, right? So while you're doing that, surrender to the play, because the universe basically saying, you know, if we did this a few months ago, this wouldn't be so hard. But this is going to be hard. So they're showing me, you know, this guy's going to go on this break and it's going to take him till the end, till he starts coming back home to relax. And so it's really not going to be a break. So we got to watch that fiery temper that they have. Just surrender to that innocence, the childlike, and drop the stress if you can. Because it's just, you know, it may not be as easy. So surrender to play. That's your block, is that stress and that cantankerous mode you're in. It's like, again, the stress, it's overplaying everything. So we need to get into our childlike qualities and let that out, because Sagittarians can really be playful, happy-go-lucky, all of that. But when they get burdened, that fire comes out, and boy, you know they're a fire sign, right? So but when they're in that playful mode, you just have no idea. There could be an error, and they're just floating on top of everything, and everybody's laughing and joking, and that's really what they want them to feel. And I feel like that's something the Sagittarian male in a couple, he's feeling stressed, period, end of story. And I mean, this is a lot of the stories going on. So maybe he needs to reduce the TV watching a little bit, because that does absolutely contribute to that. So thanks, Stacy, for coming in. No problem. Take her easy. So that was kind of a little weird morph I had there. It was like it was started out as a single and it morphed into a couple. So sorry, that's going to come off weird, but it really, at the end, the energy, I was like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be single, but it was a coupled relationship that I was dealing with. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. So now we are going to do the Sagittarian male single. Sagittarian male single. Away we go. No, we did him already. Man, I'm right out of it. I get in that zone, man. I don't know where I am. I think I did do that, because that was the dude that was talking about. Yeah, we did do him. He was talking about a past relationship. Sorry. Yeah, so we're through. Oh, well. Sorry, Stacy. I could have had you going here, but she probably figured it out before I did. Anyway, I guess I'll shut her down here. It's already 8:30. Nobody's coming in. Everybody's busy. So everybody enjoy the video. I'll explain here that I'll be coming in no longer this week. I'll come in next week. Friday's probably going to be dicey anyway. I'm not going to get no viewers because everybody's going to be out doing their thing. So I'm going to go Monday to Thursday next week. I'll come in. I'll be at a little different location, but nonetheless, I'll come in and we'll start on Monday. So I'll put up a notice here after this evening about what's going on as well, because some people are visuals, They don't want to watch the videos, but they'll read, you know. That's why I'll have like an article, a poster, and a, a video, you know, to kind of stimulate all the senses. But anyway, so the plan is to continue with the love blocks till they're done, all the signs. And so I will do that over the next week. And if we have to go into March, we'll do that. I'll go into March and we'll just till it's done. And then we'll see what, you know, what the consensus is beyond there. If, because I know you guys are probably getting sick of me already. After that, I have some projects coming up and I will notify here if it's effective or not in mid-March here. Some surprises going on. So for the locals, okay? We'll see what's going on. I can't guarantee anything at this point. So I'm all over the place. So basically, I'll continue these love blocks until they're done. Made my commitment to do this, so I will finish it off. But I'll be, like I say, in a different location. So Monday will be the next, and I'll put up a posting. And you guys can vote for who you want next for your love blocks. And if nobody's speaking up, I'll just go down the list from whatever ones are left. And I got a new deck here. I'm going to show you. The Gilded Lenormand Reverie. It's a very beautiful deck. I mean, I got to show you. I'm sure you've seen. But here's some of the cards. They're just absolutely beautiful. And I ordered this like 6 months ago, and it's finally come in. It's a very limited edition. And they're just beautiful cards. Like they're, you know, they're Lenormand. So they're not tarot per se, but they're very deep and highly energetic for me. So I wanted this one because I like the visuals, and the artist that does this, really great. So I just picked up on this one, and I'm going to be trying to incorporate that soon. And I might be getting some surprise decks here. By fall, by fall, I want to get a deck in here for the fall readings or the winter, the latest I'm working on. So thanks, guys, this evening. I'm going to limit it to one sign a night. Then, you know, I'll leave the mic open if you want a 3-card micro read, you want to clarify anything in the romance area or ask any questions about any of the readings that I've done thus far. Feel free to do that. We'll kick into that Monday. We'll kick into that, and hopefully, because then I'll do whatever sign is next, and then we'll have for the first hour, and then we'll have an hour to kind of banter back and forth, because instead of just sitting there and staring, right? So anyhow, I'm going to shut her down. It's 8:32. Sorry, Stacy. I will be back on Monday, so hopefully take her easy until then. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can contact me offline too. I'll be on for an hour and a half here making up pages and stuff, doing computer work. So if you want to get a hold of me, feel free. So take care, have fun, be kind, have a great weekend.